Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with yet another knife review for you. Today we have the Boker Plus JB Stout Lateralus. Seems like I'm reviewing stuff with a lot of names lately, but it's because I've been doing a lot of collaborations. This is another collaboration between Boker Plus and JB Stout, Jason Burley Stout. I'm not sure that's his Christian name. If it is, good on you, JB Stout's parents, because that's a hell of a name. That is a hell of a name. He is known for making very expensive and very, no pun intended, stout knives that are very well received. They are awesome, but they're very pricey, very exclusive. If you want to get one, it takes a really long time. I had a hard time even finding like a used one online to kind of get an idea of what a real one costs. Real one, you're looking at $3,000 to $4,000. Yeah, $3,000 to $4,000. They're very, very pricey. This one, not so much. $85 right now on Blade HQ from Boker Plus. I've had somewhat mixed experiences with Boker, mostly positive, but I have had a few that were lemons. I think they make some cool stuff. They make one of my favorite little toys that I like to play with at my desk. Famous Boker Kalashnikov. That's a lot of fun. So. 74. So yeah, I mean they make a lot of cool stuff. I do like Bokers. I have nothing against Boker, so I was just kind of surprised by that collaboration. That was just good on Boker for getting JB Stout, because this is a really cool knife. I really like it. I have no quality issues with this. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, very cool knife. Stout is a good name. His parents named him well. He was born into the right family, because this is stout. That is definitely one word to describe it. And I have not had the pleasure of handling one of his regular knives, but man, it is real nice. But it looks like, wow, it does look very very stout, very appropriate aesthetically, as you can see. Looks pretty badass. He makes a model called the Lateralus. He's made a few of them. I think he's only made a handful of them, but they have the similar, handle scales and stuff like that. It definitely looks like a JB Stout. I mean, especially from a distance and probably on this camera, it looks just as cool as the regular ones. And he does a lot of them in this black wash finish. It is available in other finishes. There's a plain kind of stainless steel one. I'm kind of suspecting that might be discontinued, because I went to 3 different websites. 2 I had it out of stock, and only 1 actually had them in stock. So I kind of think that might be discontinued. But they do make this in the black wash, and this is the only one in the new Boker print catalog that I got. It's just the black wash one. There is a G10 model, which has G10 on this side instead of the stainless steel. So this might be the only one they're still making. According to catalog, it's the only one listed. But I think they still make the G10 one also, which is an ounce lighter, but doesn't look as cool as this. I just like the look of this one. If you're going to buy a knife that looks this badass, this kind of intimidating, scary, badass look, get it in the black wash, man. If you're going to go all in, man. I really like the look of the black wash. I think that's very, very cool. And it just looks burly and beefy, and not to use the word again, stout, because it is. This is a stout, burly, beefy knife. It's very, very cool. Quality-wise, as I said, I have had a few issues with some other Boker Pluses in the past, but not with this one. This is really good. Running on ball bearings. Get to the deployment here. Let's just do the deployment now, because that's one of the things that's so cool about this knife. It's running on ball bearings. Made in China, yep. But gives a nice little flip. I really like that. It deploys really well. It's not quite like a Wii or anything like that, of course, but it's pretty damn good. I really like it. And it is kind of, and you can deploy it 2 ways. You got your flipper tab, or in the fuller. Some people call it blood groove, but I don't want to call it that. Put your finger in the fuller there. You can kind of flick it out too. Very, very cool. Very consistent, very smooth. And this one hasn't been deployed a whole lot. I mean, I've been playing with it for a few days, but I haven't opened and closed it a whole lot. So it's breaking in pretty good, and I didn't feel a need to tear it. A lot of times when I get cheaper ball bearing ones, I like to tear it apart and re-grease the bearings myself. Being a bike nerd, I have a lot of experience with that, so I always think I can do it better. But I didn't feel the need to do it with this one at all. The D2 steel, which I think for $85 is about right. I have no problem with that. No problem with the D2 steel at all, especially since it's coated. Your, as I said, black stonewash finish. Blade centering. Let's look at that. Pretty good. Pretty good. Don't mind that a bit. That's completely fine with me. Yeah, I'm not at all disappointed in the quality of this knife. Not even a little bit. I was very happy with it. Let's get into some boring detail stats, though, here. Let's do, we're looking at overall length of 8¼ inches. All these squares are 1 inch again, by the way. Well, let's move it up a little bit. Let's do that. How about that? Is that better for you? It's better for me. 8¼ inches. Blade length, a little over 3.5 inches. So that's kind of a weird thing about this knife. It is kind of a lot of states have that 3.5 inch law, or municipalities have that 3.5 inch law. This is just a bit over that. I kind of don't get that. Do 3.5 or go balls out and go for 4. But anyway, it's still a really good blade length, very usable blade length. You're looking at the blade height of about just a hair over an inch, as you can see on here. Kind of a full flat grind, clip point thing. It is a flat grind, but yeah, it's got a nice little swedge on top. You have the fuller in here. Not going to call it blood groove. Just not going to do that. Handle length of 4.625 inches. This is an all stainless steel knife. There's no titanium in it, which some people have found highly disappointing. But the weight isn't that bad. 5.5 ounces. It's not a lightweight by any freaking stretch of the imagination. But it's 5.5 ounces. I've had titanium handle knives that weighed more than that. So I'm not sure going to the titanium would change that. I mean, look at this. I don't know if you can see this in the camera. We're going to try and get it. Yeah, but look at how skeletonized that. This thing is milled out. Every place they could take something off, they did. JB did. Jason Burley Stout did. So yeah. Don't have a problem with the weight. This isn't a knife that's like meant to be. Does it look like it's trying to be lightweight? No, it doesn't. It is what it is. For what it looks like, I was surprised it was as light as it is, to be honest with you. Let's do some size comparisons here. Talk about your, what do we got? Something that's kind of close here. We got your Ontario Rat 1. Yeah, and then we have your Delica 4 for consistency's sake. And yeah, let's bring back the other Boker I currently own. And just because it's fun to hear that clicky noise. A Boker Kalashnikov 74 automatic. So yeah, it's not as huge as I thought it would be. Honestly, especially in my pocket. I thought, looking at it, looking at pictures online or reviews, I thought, oh, this thing's gonna be obnoxious in my pocket. It isn't. I mean, it definitely takes up my whole pocket. I don't think I'd put much else in there with it. Don't get me wrong, but easy to get in and out. It's got a fairly low ride clip on it, so yeah, I didn't mind it in my pocket that much at all. And in my hand, it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. I always choke up on knives. It's just how I usually use them a lot. But your standard saber grip, got plenty of room. Yep. Oh, another cool thing I didn't get, skipped over in the aesthetics. It does have a cool Stout logo on it. I like that. 0273. I'm assuming that's the number of this one. It must be a first production run, because I've looked at a couple of other reviews online and everybody has different numbers. So I'm guessing they numbered the first run of them. I don't think that's a model number or anything. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me in the things, and I'll put a little correction on the video. But pocket clip's good and solid, and it doesn't get in the way of your hand when you're holding on to it. I say you choke up. Jimping's very good, very, very aggressive without being painful. Yeah, this is a knife that's meant to do some shit, for sure. And it does very well. I mean, this is $85, so it's not horribly expensive, so you don't mind beating on it. D2 is a beat-on-me kind of steel. And I've really enjoyed using it the last few days. It's done a lot of things really well. We have a blade thickness of 0.14, so fairly thick. Not crazy, but fairly thick. Got a good beefy tip. You don't have to worry about snapping that off unless you're doing something horribly stupid. and it still cuts things pretty well. Let's get to that. Let's look at some cutting stuff. So you can go hack through your cardboard here like nothing. Completely easy. Not quite Mannix 2, which is my be-all, end-all of cardboard cutters, but pretty good. And I've been using this, and it's D2, but it's still pretty sharp. Let's see. Yep. Super easy. Very sharp out of the box. They did a very good job there. It's a very good slicer. And if you want to do some really serious stuff, that's a beefy blade. That's going to take some abuse. Again, ball bearings inside of it. Yeah, I mean, I just don't have much bad to say about this. I kind of thought I would when I ordered it. I kind of thought, yeah, I'll probably have something bad to say about it, but I don't. I mean, the looks are definitely love it or hate it. The looks are definitely, wow, I want this badass thing, or just, oh, that's too much. It is a bit much. It is a bit aggressive looking. But, you know, I have other knives, so I don't mind having one or two that look super aggressive. Maybe you're going somewhere where you want a knife that looks super aggressive. Who knows? Maybe you've made a bad decision and you want something that looks crazy. Yeah, this definitely fits that bill. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Is it cool enough to make me spend $3 or $4 grand on a real full-on JB Stout? No, but that's just because I'm cheap. That's not. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're awesome, but I don't think I will ever spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a knife unless this channel becomes super successful, and I'm living on an island somewhere. Then I will summon Jason Burley Stout to my quarters and ask him to craft a knife in front of me. That's about the only time I can picture being rich enough that I'm going to spend $3 or $4 grand on a knife. But $85 on a Boker Plus JB Stout Lateralus, which it is Lateralus, by the way. Some people have argued about that a little bit online. I took Latin in high school. It's Lateralus. But yeah, $85 on this knife? Abso-freaking-lutely. It's really cool. This is a very pleasant surprise for me. I hope you are pleasantly surprised by the quality of this video and then things that you've learned and that I've taught you what JB Stout stands for, and that I like the black wash. I'm not quite sure what else I taught you there, but $85, good value. Love the ball bearings, awesome deployment, pretty good ergonomics. Recommend. I've been Brian. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Talk to you later.